Afternoon, we are here at CPAC 2021 in Orlando, Florida, and I am Zoe Sozo, joined here by Anna Paulina. Some of you all may know who she is. Anna, she's been around the block, I would say, in the conservative movement. Yeah, it's in the conservative movement, but she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent woman, and I aspire to be more like her. But I'm going to hear what she has to say. More so, give us a brief bio of who you are and how long you've been involved
in the movement. So my name is Anna Paulina Luba. I ran for Congress actually this past cycle in 2022. But prior to that, I was the National Hispanic Outreach Director from Turning Point USA. And then I went forward and actually produced or assisted in producing a show with PragerU called Americanos. I've been, I think I still am, one of the more prominent conservative Hispanic voices in the country. And I'm really, really passionate about immigration and counter-trafficking. So that's actually why I got politically involved. But prior to that, I was in the Air Force. So I'm an Air Force veteran. And
thank you for your service.
Thank you. And so now I'm realizing that, especially after we saw what happened with big tech and after the presidential election, that it's really important that people are staying together, mobilizing, and using any means of communication possible to really share about why tech censorship is bad, the conservative values, and then also to why we should not lean socialist.
Exactly. And I know even more so, like in the Latino community, how some of them, Cubans and what they've experienced firsthand, what communism feels like. And even more so, it's important for us to have a face, someone who is educated on these things, to inform others. Biden repeatedly seems to undermine the intelligence of the ethnic groups.
Black and Hispanic, he thinks that we're idiots.
Exactly. So speaking about that, Biden and his immigration policy and plan and the new administration that's in, how is this going to be detrimental to us?
I mean, For one, I think that it shows the absolute hypocrisy in the mainstream media in regards to immigration policy as a whole. We all know that prior to 2016, the Democrats had the exact same standpoint as Republicans on illegal immigration. In fact, you can pull footage of everyone from Clinton to Obama saying that we cannot have illegal immigration and to not come here because it's dangerous. Then you had a Republican president who was not a part of the swamp come into office, and then they all of a sudden try to say that those cages that President Trump was xenophobic and anti-immigrant and was literally putting children in cages. First of all, those cages were built by Joe Biden and the Obama administration.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Furthermore, now because you have President Joe Biden in office and the media is trying to cover for him, they're coming up with all these creative ways of basically repackaging the same immigration policies that were the same under President Trump. And yet you have people that are absolutely saying nothing when they pretended to be outraged at these kids in cages, which, mind you, were old images from the Obama era.
Right, exactly.
And while Joe Biden has these kids in literally refrigerated Connex boxes with bars on the windows, they're saying nothing. So it really does show the hypocrisy. But, for me, especially as someone who's been down to the border multiple times, who has worked with counter-trafficking organizations, you cannot say that you believe in a humanitarian cause if you are for illegal immigration because of all the bad things that come along with it. And frankly, it's been incredibly irresponsible for the Biden administration to encourage amnesty, encourage illegal immigration. That's exactly why they're getting the influx in unaccompanied minors at our border, for those who might not know, unaccompanied minors are actually used to exploit the asylum process. And so for him to encourage that, and then in the same breath do away with the counter-trafficking program that President Trump had in place, it's dangerous, it's inconsiderate, and it's not thoughtful as to the people that it impacts. So I am still for separating children from people that are claimed to be their parents until you can biologically identify whether or not that person is related to that parent figure, and then obviously reunifying afterwards.
Exactly, that's really important. So more so for you, I know you just finished with your campaign and everything not too long ago. What are the next steps for you? And of course, many others, I think it's very important for us right now to get more involved as much as we can. And with all of the beginnings that you've had and everything is really, again, inspiring for us. But what are the next steps for you?
I'm still working largely in media. I actually just got a podcast on iHeartRadio. So it will be Luna Talks with Anna Paulina. And that's actually with iHeartRadio and Newt Gingrich's company. Yeah, so we're very excited about that. But moving forward, I mean, I think that there's going to be some incredible things to come from the state of Florida. We are obviously redistricting in 2022, and we are picking up, as far as I know, 2 more congressional seats. Those will be Republican. And, I haven't said that I won't get back in, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what your calling may be? So even more so with media now, we are being censored and we are being shut down left and right, and the left is being, more so influential on our youth and using media by that and false information, and they want to end up fact-checking us and saying that what we're providing is not true information. How do you think this will look for us in the future?
I think that if we don't get more elected officials that are not taking the PAC money from these tech companies and basically controlled opposition by them, that we're going to be in some serious trouble. I know a lot of people think that social media is just, it's just a verification. It's just
there's a lot of power behind it.
Actually, 1 in 8 people in the United States use Twitter, and a majority of millennials and onward use social media to communicate. That is our news source. That is our print, television, and radio all in one. So to say that it doesn't matter is ignorant. And so what I'm doing currently is, during my campaign, I actually was having massive issues with Twitter, and I felt like it was targeted, and we have evidence that it was. And so prior to my campaign ending, I actually filed an FEC complaint with my congressional campaign against Twitter. Wow. And on the 26th of this month, the case became eligible for suit. And so I talked to Senator Loomis in Wyoming, and she's definitely on the back end trying to assist with that.
Wow.
But I do think that we have grounds for a class action lawsuit. And that's not on a free speech issue. That's with these tech companies directly interfering with congressional races, which is essentially fixing elections. If you're controlling what people see and you're suppressing a candidate, then you're suppressing a congressional campaign. So how it's written is, it's actually written as an illegal campaign finance violation, because when you donate to someone, even if it's, let's say we're giving you food for a campaign event and you're running for office, that actually has to be recorded as an in-kind donation, is what they call it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so when you have a tech company give a verification to one candidate and not another, that actually changes the algorithm and visibility of that candidate. Therefore, it could be assigned a monetary value, whether it's advertisement or not, but it's considered an in-kind contribution. And so here in Florida, DeSantis has done an incredible job at actually taking charge, and I'm hoping that Florida will set the precedence and actually lead out the fight against big tech. And if they pass that legislation, to put it in perspective, per day that I was suppressed, it would have totaled $3 million a month. And then for the duration of those 12 months that I was campaigning, that's into the millions of dollars that the state of Florida would have been able, been able to find Twitter alone. So I think that it would be in Florida's invested interest, my invested interest, and then obviously that of, I think, the American people. You start with hitting them at the congressional and Senate interference level, and then you work your way downward.
Exactly, and we definitely have to just hold them accountable, exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
Continue in the fight. And Anna, I appreciate you so much for sitting down with us this video time.
You.
Again, you're inspiring to me. Is there any place where our followers can follow you and get to learn more about you?
I'm currently boycotting Twitter.
Okay.
But you can find me on pretty much any other platform, and I mean like literally every platform I'm on at Real Anna Paulina. And then honestly, my new favorite platform is, I didn't know that I would like it that much, but Telegram.
Telegram, yes, we're right here with that, yes.
Yeah, so at Real Anna Paulina, I'm verified on Telegram. You guys can find me then.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much. So again, we are here live at CPAC 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Stay tuned for more.